On this episode, we're looking at, surprise, surprise, chasing down a bike deal. This is typically how it works. You find a good deal on maybe Facebook Marketplace or maybe Craigslist or something like that. In this case, I found a 1982 Honda, I think it's a CM250, which is a little on the smaller side, but the guy is moving, needs some money, situation like that, and it looks like we got a good deal potentially happening on the bike. So I got my truck, got my bike ramp in the back. It's a 1982, and in Georgia, you really don't need anything other than a bill of sale. But you definitely want a good bill of sale. If you can get anyone that has a registration that shows it's been registered, that'll save you on taxes and also proves things like that. So I'm shooting over to check out this bike. It's about a 45-50 minute drive, but when the price is right, it's worth chasing it down. Of course, it's always a risk. You may waste some time. Bring just enough cash and maybe a little extra cash in the other pocket in case you got to spend more than you were anticipating. But 40-50 minutes or so, good chance to just get on the road, listen to some good music, maybe get a call from a friend. Statesboro, Georgia. About 45 minutes up the road from me, and I drove out tonight to pick up this little Honda 1982 I think it's a CM250. Cool little bike, ran well, had some strange clutch vibes going on, had some interesting movement with the forks, but it runs good. I think it's gonna be a cool little cafe racer to slim down, so stay tuned for the process. Should be another fun one. Now, for this situation, the seat came off really easy. It was just a bolt on the side. Some of these old bikes, it's little clips that you pull up on and the seat just slides off. But in any case, we can look at here and see where the seat pan should be. In this case, if I want to do something, I have to cut here, take some of this off, cut here, obviously take this little kind of sissy bar off, maybe the rear fender. Just depends on how involved I want to get. Next, we're going to take off this. I guess this is some sort of a sissy bar. It should just be a couple bolts here on the side. It is wired to the turn signals, which I'll put some smaller turn signals on it anyway, so it'll be fine to just take these off. And oftentimes you don't have to take these bolts off fully, because they're just kind of, there's like a hook and not necessarily a hole. And oftentimes just like that, come off. And I'm gonna snip these bad boys. So if weight elimination is the name of the game, you could take that rear fender off, which eliminates a lot of metal. Otherwise, I think we're off to a good start. Slimming this thing up. Next will be get these big handlebars off and get some slim ones on. So what we're doing today is we're gonna pull these old handlebars off that are really big and try and slim this thing up by putting some smaller handlebars on. Pretty easy task. Let's get into it. Here we have some Euro bars, which I'm not gonna flip so much for a cafe racer look, but kind of flip this way standard for more of a Euro bar setup. These are not Vans gum rubber grips, but they are gum grips, and they're kind of an icing on a cake. You get some nice accent color on the bike, so this is a cool moment. Well, I don't care who you are, it's always a fun day when Amazon drops something on the porch. Today we've got a package for the bike. Let's check out what we've got going on. A couple things in here. This is going to be our brake light, integrated turn signals on the bike. I've used this particular one a bunch of times. Nothing to write home about. It's about $12 on Amazon, and it gets the job done. Not the most sturdy thing in the world, but it's about 12 bucks. Get what you pay for. Here we're gonna have a set of blinkers, turn signals that we use on the back of the bike. Another thing that really helps out with these bikes cosmetically is this front here. Where as you can see, these are some crazy big turn signals, and that's why I picked up a pair of these much smaller LED turn signals, which was just kind of bring it in and make it slicker, as well as surprise, surprise, my favorite, an amber headlight, which is kind of a retro look, just for styling. It is legal in some states. I've never been ticketed or in trouble for it, so let's swap these out. So if we really want to slim things down, trim things up, you can take away your speedometer, tachometer, and this is just a little light, so you can maybe neutral, oil light, turn signal, things like that. So I'm going to take these both off and just keep slimming this thing up. Mirrors are gone. This is going to go. We're just going to keep losing weight on this already lightweight bike. Just make it a little faster and make it look cooler. As you can see, we got a really cleaned up front end with removing the speedometer, tachometer, smaller turn signals, different headlight, different lower bars and grips. It's time to move to the back of this bike in just a minute and figure out how we're gonna slim up the back, as well as removing the front fender and the rear fender. In this case, this is more of a bike unbuild than a bike build, as we're just taking things off of it, keeping it mechanically sound order, just slimming it down. This part in the bike, I'm looking at cutting the frame here and here to slim this line out, to build a seat pan to really trim this thing up. What we're gonna do to accomplish that is the old Milwaukee Sawzall with a metal blade. Should make quick work of this metal. So what I've done now is put the original fender back on, and I drew some marks here with the Sharpie just to trim this top down so that I can get this seat on it. That goes way too high, and then potentially to trim this back down as well, so it just slims up the fender altogether. This saves money and time. We're gonna have some sharp edges here, and we're gonna need to take the angle grinder to bang down some of these edges, and maybe a sander as well. So now we want to mount the new brake light. So what we're going to do is set it up about where we want it, and then mark what the 2 holes need to be on the back side. And then we will drill those holes in place. Well, if you followed along to this point, what we've done is successfully unbuilt the bike. There's not a whole lot of building as far as cafe racer stuff goes. You can go crazy. This is what this is. This is kind of a bike unbuild. Take stuff off, make it lighter. I've probably taken about 30 to 40 pounds off the bike. Let's take a look at what we've taken apart so far. All sorts of stuff. Now it's time to come up with the seat for this guy. Well, it's always a good day when you see this on the front porch. It means Mr. UPS or Amazon or FedEx will stop by. And there we have it. And let me be honest, that all the bikes I've done over the years, and I've done probably about 125 to 150 bikes over the years in cafe racers. This is the first seat I've ever bought online. I've got an upholstery guy who typically recovers my seats or makes them. This was bought on Amazon for $34, which is significantly cheaper than what I usually pay for my seats. So the proof is in the pudding. Let's see how this fits on the bike. Without a doubt, there'll be some level of modification to get it fitting perfect, but let's go see. Well, this has been another fun little cafe racer project. Once again, kind of the unbuilding or taking apart of the old stuff and just kind of giving a new lease on life. This bike should be going into a little shop, little storefront in Savannah this week. So I'm looking forward to loading this thing up and getting it down and kind of just showcasing some of the work, and maybe it finds its forever home from that environment. But for right now, I need to get out here, enjoy the 77-degree weather it's going to be today, get this thing out and do some zipping around on it.